حي على
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبده ورسوله صفيه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة. قال تعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. وعلمنا سبحانه بحمده وفضله كيف نحمده ونشكره بقوله تعالى الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا. I bear witness that there is no God or deity worthy of worship but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, peace and blessings be upon him, is the final messenger, delivered the message, guided the ummah, and showed us the righteous way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, indeed the Quran before your hand is the righteous book. For those who have pious love and fear of Allah in their heart, they will find guidance in the Quran. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so loving and so merciful, He taught us how to thank Him by saying, all praise, all thanks, all glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bestowing the Quran on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And again, those who are pious and love and fear of Allah in their heart, they will find guidance in the Quran that will lead them to heaven. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so clear, He sends a clear, unequivocal warning to those who equate idols with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying they know nothing about this, nor do their parents, and promises a place in the hellfire. Brothers and sisters, as we approach these 10 days right before Hajj, it is highly recommended, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it a lot, if we do takbir, say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. Allahu Akbar kabira, walhamdulillahi kathira, wa subhanallahi bukratan wa asila. Keep that on your mind during these 10 days and mention it a lot. There's no time in the entire year that the good work is closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these 10 days. Some of the scholars says, yes, it is better than Ramadan. Yes, it is better than the last 10 days of Ramadan. These 10 days, أحب العمل إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى during these 10 days. So make sure you do something special every day during these 10 days. It could be ibadah, it could be dhikr, it could be salat rahim. Make it something special. And as we approach these 10 days and as we approach Manasik al-Hajj, the things that are about to happen on Arafat and the day after, we need to reflect on the story of how did we get to where we are. And what are some of the things that we do at Hajj? We do them automatically without thinking about them. And today we're going to spend time talking about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. And al-Hadi, the sacrifice that we offer during Hajj, and where did it come from, what does it mean, so to help us reflect on that and remember that every year, instead of just sending money or slaughtering a sheep yourself. In addition to that, think about what does it mean, why is that there, and how do we contemplate it, thinking like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us stories in the Quran, and tells us why He tells us stories in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. These stories are wisdom. These stories are there for a reason. These stories are there for us to learn from and reflect from. They're not there for amusement. They're not there to read and laugh about. They're not there to read and just pass by as a story that you read somewhere else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا كَانَ حَدِيثًا يُفْتَرَى وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَتَفْصِيلَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. This is the proof, or part of the proof, that the Quran is the true message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's telling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stories that happened thousands of years ago. He wasn't there, nor was anyone around him there when these things happened. وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Wahuda, guidance and blessing for those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are what these stories are there for. Qissat Sayyidina Ibrahim starts when he was a little kid. And we're going to progress through that over the next 20-25 minutes to get to the end of the story and how we reflect upon that. Started as a little kid. The person raising him. And many of the scholars says when Sayyidina Ibrahim talks about his father in the Quran, it is not his direct father, but his uncle or his great-grandfather. And there's examples in the Quran that says when someone says, Abi, doesn't mean your father, it could mean your grandfather. So the person that was raising him was a non-believer, fighting him to be a non-believer too. Like in Prophet Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened his sight and allowed him to see things that none others can see. He saw that there's a God that controls this entire universe, and it's not these idols that these people worship. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a'ta hujja fil kalam. He was able to speak and argue with people and put a stop to these arguments. When someone argued with him that your God raises, your God gives life and takes life, I can do the same thing. I can kill someone or allow them to live. Sayyidina Ibrahim radda alayh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the sun from the east, bring it from the west if you can. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. That was at the end of that discussion. When he took to their idols and destroyed them, they came to him and asked the question, who did this? And they knew it was him. His response was, why don't you ask them? Ask the elders amongst them. These are the people that you worship. These are the things you worship. Ask them who destroyed them. And buhiju, they couldn't answer that question. They knew they were worshiping nothing but idols. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Khalilullah. He's one of the ulil azm min ar-rusul. He's close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He reached an old age, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give him kids at that point in time. And at that age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided that Prophet Ibrahim is going to get a son. Against everything logical in this world. Against all the sunan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created sunan fi hadi al-hayat. When someone reaches an old age, he cannot have kids. When a woman passes a certain age, she cannot have kids. You know, there are certain things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created that are sunan, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them and can stop them. And He gave the example to Prophet Ibrahim earlier in life. When his people decided to burn him, they lit a fire. And that fire could be felt from weeks and months walking distance from that fire. So you can imagine how big that fire was. They couldn't get close to the fire to throw him in it, so they built a catapult, like a manjaniq. They put him in that catapult and threw him in the fire. On his way to the fire, Jibreel alayhi salam appears to him. Look at the faith of this man. And look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports him with that kind of faith. He's in the air, on the way to the fire, about to be thrown in the fire. You ask a 2-year-old child, what is fire? He'll tell you it burns. You ask a 100-year-old man, what is fire? He'll tell you it's burned. Sunnah min sunanillah. Fire burns. Fire is hot. Fire burns people. Fire burns everything. On his way to the fire, Jibreel appears to him. He said, what do you wish, Prophet Ibrahim? Look at the iman of this prophet. His response was, from you, nothing. My faith is in your creator and my creator. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I seek refuge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have put that fire away with wind. Could have put that fire away with rain. could have helped Prophet Ibrahim escape like he helped Prophet Lut. He could have done many things leading up to that point. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to show him and his people his mercy. He wanted to show them his strength. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the fire that burns, Kuni bardan wa salam. Be peaceful and cool for Prophet Muhammad. This is the kind of prophet that we're talking about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yuqif sunnah min sunan al-kawn for him. And he did the same thing for Prophet Muhammad when the king of the mountains appeared to him, and he made the Isra wal Mi'raj is also bending sunnah min sunan al-kawn. Time and space was bent في رحلة الإسراء والمعراج. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes these special things for the special prophet. So at an older age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifts Prophet Ibrahim a son. And he calls him Ismail. And he was near and dear to his heart. And the scholar says, by the time الذي بلغ معه السعي, when Prophet Ismail was about 12, 13 years old, Prophet Ibrahim must have been about 100 at that point in time. An old man that was given kids later in life. An old man that is relying on this son. وَبَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ, he's relying on him. He's a son that is near and dear to his heart, not a son that he sees once a week. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Prophet Ibrahim this vision. And this vision was that he is slaughtering his son. And he had a dilemma at that point in time. What would he do? As a prophet, one that is guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he chose the clear path. He grabs his son. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيَ قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ, oh my dear son, إِنِّي أَرَى فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ. I have a vision, and in that vision I see that I'm slaughtering you. What we take from that is our relationship with our kids needs to be built on honesty. Even in the toughest situation, he says, Ya bunay, my dear son, my beloved son. Inni ara fil manami anni adbah. Many of us cringe at the thought of disciplining our kids. Many of us cringe at the thought that we have to do something that may make them sad or may upset them. And here's a prophet telling his son, Inni ara fil manami anni adbah. Fandur mada tara. You tell me, what do you see? Include our kids in the decision-making process. Shawirhum. Make them feel that they're part of this. Let them feel that they have a choice and they have a say in what's going on around them. هذا رسول من أولي العزم من الرسل has a vision that he's slaughtering his son, and he's asking him, فانظر ماذا ترى? Tell me, what do you think? We all know the response, but before we get to the response, let's think about a couple of things here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts us in this life. And this life is nothing but a test. Everything that happens in this life is a test. If one of the brothers here is a bodybuilder and can lift 200 pounds easily, and can bench press 300 pounds easily, and I can't do that. And he and I are asked to move a box that weighs 75 pounds. Who do you think will have a harder time moving the box? Me or the person that bench presses 300 pounds and can lift 200 pounds deadlift? Who? Of course me. I am the one that's going to be challenged with that. To him, it's not a challenge at all. He'll probably pick it up with one hand and move it to the other room and not even break a sweat. I have to look for others to help, and I have to drag it and try to lift it. The point is, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests, He tests us with things that are challenging for us, but are well within our means. If I brought the brother who lifts 300 pounds and I said, let's move this box that weighs 1,000 pounds. That is an impossible mission. There's no way he can do that. There's no way he and I can do that together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us with things that challenges us. Otherwise, it's not a test. If you have lots of money, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you a test where if you spend $1,000, it will be passed. Car gets into an accident, you break something that needs to be replaced. That is not really a test. That is merely like, hey, do you have money? Go ahead and spend it. The test needs to be challenging. And the test is always within our means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. The Quran is true. It's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when He tells us, He only tests us with what is within our means, we have to believe that. We human beings fall short on the understanding of that. We take that ayah and flip it upside down, and when you ask me to do something, lift that box that is 25 pounds, and I can lift it, I can't. It's not within my means. I can't do that. Help and donate to the masjid, I can't. It's not within my means. Do X, I can't. It's not within. You decided what you can and cannot do, and you decided that you are not going to do that. Lakin Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Any test that you've been put through is a test you can pass. Otherwise, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala غير عادل. A test that you cannot pass is not a just test. And a test that you cannot pass is not a test that you should be judged on either. I can only be judged on what's within my means. If one of the tests was to be born to non-believing parents, and these parents are beating me day in and day out, and these parents are forcing you to leave Islam, and these parents are making your life hell, and you grew distance from these parents. You keep kinship, but you grew a distance between you and them. Are you being judged for that? It's not fair. I did not ask for these to be my parents. I did not ask to be put in this situation. So things that we have no choice about, we're not judged on. And things that we have a choice about, we're being judged on. So any test that you go through, and as parents, the toughest test that we can think about is the loss of a child, or loss of a parent, or some kind of test like that, that really challenges us at our core. Always remember, yes, you can pass that test. It is your choice. And what you're being judged on is the choice that you make. It is not the outcome. It is the choice that you make is what you're being judged on. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam is tested with the son that he has. The son is near and dear to his heart. He was given this son after many, many years. And he's about 100 years old at that point in time. And the test comes in the form, this son that you love the most is going to die. Not only is he going to die, you're going to kill him with your own hand. Who amongst us here can bear a test like that? Many of us cannot slaughter a sheep. We'll pay someone to slaughter that sheep on your behalf. And here's a prophet being challenged with slaughtering his own son with his own hands. Not like he has 20, his own son, the oldest son, the son that is balagha ma'ahu as-sa'i. The closer you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the tougher the test will be. And the test is not for Allah to find out. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the outcome of it. The test is for Prophet Ibrahim to find out, and for us to learn thousands of years later from that test itself. Inni ara fi manami anni adbahuk. Ya Allah, Khalilullah, Prophet Ibrahim, is being asked to slaughter his own son. Ida Khalilullah is asked with that, what are we going to be asked about? What is the test for us? إِذَا الَّذِي يُحِبُّهُ اللَّهُ Khalilullah is being asked with that. What do you think us, that pray sometimes, and close to Allah sometimes, some days, and Father and other days, what do you think the test for us is going to be? The true belief of how you raise your kids is how they react in situations like that. His son responded, قَالَ يَا أَبَتِي. In a situation like this, if I tell my son I'm punishing you, he'll walk away. Imagine telling the son, I see a vision, I'm slaughtering you. The son responds with the absolute love and endearment to his father. He said, Ya abati. Not, oh my God, what did you say? Or, hey you, or any, Ya abati, my beloved father, my dear father. If'al ma tu'mar. You do what you're ordered to do. Satajiduni insha'Allahu min as-sabirin. You will find me, Allah willing, one of those who are patient. If my dad asked me that question, I don't know if that was going to be I know that's not going to be my response. The first thing that will come to mind is like, it's only a dream, dude. Just chill out. Calm down. It's only a dream. Let's not take this the wrong way. And this son, without hesitation, tells his dad, If'al ma tu'mar. This is not a game. He's not toying with him. He's like, let's say we're going to do what we're going to do, but we'll figure something out later. You do what you're ordered to do. The son believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and knows his father is a prophet and knows that the dream, the vision his father had is a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did not question the vision, did not question his dad, did not try to find a way to weasel out of that. In the second part of the khutbah, we'll continue with the same theme. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadi alladhina istafa. We're reflecting today on the story of Prophet Ibrahim. We're at the scene where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him a vision that he's slaughtering his own son, and the son submits to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not a regular test. This is a super tough test. A regular test would be, your son is going to die, send him to battle. He needs to fight in this battle and he'll die shaheed. Or your son is going to die, I'm just giving you a heads up, someone's going to kill him. Or your son is going to die, he's going to get sick. It's going to happen no matter what. Al-mawt alladhi tafirruna minhu is coming to you. Death that you're running away from is coming. في هذه الآية بلاغة شديدة فإنه the same death that you're running from is going to meet you. It's not going to come to you in a different shape or form. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him, no. He's not just going to die. You're going to slaughter him. The test is for both of you. And it's not an easy test. It's a super tough test. Prophet Ibrahim, no family left. He's at the age of 100. In a foreign land, he left Palestine and moved to where Mecca is today. There's nothing there but him and his small family. Being tested like that. What is he to do in a moment like this? Both receive the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to learn from that. As we approach Eid and as we approach Arafat, we need to think that this sheep that is going to be slaughtered is the symbol of what happened. It means the complete submission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring bounty, will bring saving. The complete submission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what He wants from us. No second guessing and no doubting. So, فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. So it's not just words, I see a vision, go ahead and do your vision. No. Put him on the ground, face down, so you couldn't see him in the face. Held the knife in his throat and about to fulfill the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. None of us, I don't care how tough you are, I don't care how tough you think you are, none of us could pass that test here. Many surgeons in the room here cannot operate on their own family. Actually, it's not allowed. You're asked to recuse yourself from a situation like that. Imagine a doctor operating to save someone's life cannot operate on their own family. And here's an order where it's not saving, it's actually killing. And they're both executing it. ما الحكمة from this test? إن هذا لهو البلاء المبين. This is not an easy test. What is the wisdom behind this? The wisdom from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to show you that loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supersedes everything else. Do not get attached to anything in this life. Everything comes and goes. The love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what keeps you going in this life. The complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what's going to save you in this life. No money, no kids, no husband, or wife, or kids, or father, or mother is going to save you. Your love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what's going to save you. So this complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this complete love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what we're looking for. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ وَنَادَيْنَاهُ أَيَّ إِبْرَاهِيمُ. Look, a call comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the call does not say stop. أَيَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا. You fulfilled what we asked you to do. إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Ya Allah, look. Al-Ihsan, the reward for Ihsan is saving. The reward for Ihsan is being rescued. The reward for Ihsan is that you're going to be mentioned in every salah that we talk about, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. The reward for Ihsan is without limit. إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. This is how we reward those who go above and beyond. Al-Muhsin is one that does good without the expectation of return, the one that does good without the initiation of someone doing good to you. الإحسان ما هو رد أنت تعمل لي شيء جيد أنا أعمل لك شيء جيد. هذا ما هو الإحسان. al-ihsan that I start. Despite maybe you're not being a good person, despite maybe you're not treating me well, I continue to show the good side. Al-ihsan is going above and beyond. Inna kadhalika najzi al-muhsinin. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِالْحِنَامِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings down an animal to be slaughtered instead of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. Ya Allah. So this sheep that we slaughtered thousands of years later is based on that story. If nothing else from today's lesson, if you think about one thing, think about what if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed Prophet Ibrahim to slaughter his son on that day. What are we to do today? What are we to do every Eid? What are we going to slaughter every day? What test are we going to go through every day? Think about the substitution that this animal was sent from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take place of something that is much greater than that. So when you do it yourself or you send money for someone to do it on your behalf, think about that. Think of the submission from Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Prophet Ismail. Think about the complete submission that this was their reward for. So when you're slaughtering that sheep, put yourself in that situation. Complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're doing it in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala لَن تَصِلَهُ. The meat or the blood of the things that are being sacrificed. He doesn't need any of it. This is a way for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a way to save ourselves. He has given us a way to reconnect with Him. This lesson from this story is a great lesson. And there's nothing better than the times that we're in right now to reflect upon that. Arafat is coming, Eid is coming. Many of us are going to slaughter animals and distribute the meat here. Think about the story. Tell it to your kids. We're not just slaughtering a sheep or a cow or a camel or whatever and distributing the meat. We are following the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam that he took from Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. We're following that sunnah. And it's a great story about submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The reward for ihsan, the relationship between the parent and the son, and the complete belief between the son and the parent, and the consultation between the son and the parent. This is what this stands for, and this is what we need to reflect upon. Let's not just go through this Eid without reflecting upon that. Let's not go through this Eid without mentioning the story to someone that can learn something from it. When you're distributing the meat, remember those who are receiving the meat about this story in a very gentle way. You can't talk to them for 30 minutes. Mention, hey, this is in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many were asking, how do we do da'wah in this country? And that's a topic on its own, it's not today's topic. One way, and I see it as probably the only or the best way to do da'wah in this country, is to exemplify Islam. It's not words, it's not, distributing masahif on doors, it's not putting flyers everywhere. It is you living the values of Islam. That's what's going to cause people to ask, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you distributing meat to those we don't even know on this day? Reflect the story. This was the reward. And the religion, the Jews and the Christians know the story. The Jews said, Ishaq was the Zabih, مش Ismail. Well, we know the story. We know it was Prophet Ismail. Our Prophet is a descendant of Prophet Ismail, and we know the story. So they know the story. This was how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved one of His prophets. We're distributing meat in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in complete submission. And with that, we conclude and pray and say, Allahumma ahdina fi man hadayt, wa afina fi man afayt, wa tawallana fi man tawallayt, wa barik Allahumma lana fi ma a'tayt, wa qina wasrif anna bi rahmatika sharra ma qadayt, innaka taqdi bil haqqi wa la yuqda alayka, innahu la ya'izzu man adayt, wa la yadhillu man walayt, tabarakta rabbana wa ta'alayt. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك يا مولانا عزيز سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات يا إلهنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا دينا إلا وفيته ولا حاجة إلا قضيتها واجعل تجمعنا تجمعا مبرورا وتفرقنا من بعده معصوما مغفورا مرحوما. اللهم ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. اللهم ارحم آباءنا وأمهاتنا كما ربونا صغارا. Oh Allah, we ask you for your forgiveness. We ask you for a drink of water from the basin of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we feel no thirst after that. We ask you to shade us under your throne on Judgment Day when there's no shade but under your throne. We ask you to forgive us, forgive our parents, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, sons and daughters, wives and husbands. We ask you to make this life a blessed life. We ask you to make this gathering a blessed gathering. We ask you to meet you on Judgment Day when you're happy with us. We ask you to shade us under your throne and allow us to look at you on Judgment Day. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.